Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Jason and you're watching my channel Micro Investor. So as you guys know, I've been really digging these space stocks here recently, and there is another space stock play out there that's going to be going public through a SPAC merger, and the company is called Rocket Labs, and the SPAC blank check company is ticker symbol VACQ. Now, we've talked about another SPAC stock out there that is another space stock that's going public through a SPAC, and that is Momentous. That one is ticker symbol SRAC. This one is kind of a similar company, actually, in a way, in some sort of way, kind of like another like SpaceX style play. But this is going to be a very interesting one. So as we get to it, if you guys don't mind, please do me a huge favor and please be sure to smash, destroy, and annihilate that like button as always, because that helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm and helps spread my videos to more people that might find it interesting. Also, subscribe if you have not already. And if you are interested in being a Patreon, which I will greatly appreciate, I do have one link. It's in the description, and I have a private Discord attached to that. Thank you to all the Patreons. All right, everybody, let's get to it. So first things first, this is the Vector Acquisitions VACQ stock right here, but we'll get back to that in a second. Just to go real quick over to the space stock watch list that I built here. We have them all in here, pretty much all the ones that I kind of have been following or talking about. We have the three SPAC ones right here. NPA, which is going to be Space Mobile, SRAC, which is Momentous, which also an amazing one that I'm very interested in as well. And then going down the list, we have all the other ones, Virgin Galactic, etc. Now, for the most part, some of these are starting to trend back up, but they were down quite a bit for a while there. But now let's get right over to VACQ, what we're talking about here, Rocket Labs. All right, so VACQ stock. So just like any typical SPAC that starts at $10 a share, once they do find a target, it does tend to shoot up quite a bit if people are interested in investing into what the target company is. And in this case, it's Rocket Labs, which a lot of people are interested in investing into space stocks at the moment. Now, this one didn't even have that long of a run. Sometimes these SPACs, these blank check companies, are sitting out there for a long time before they do find a target. So this one was pretty quick. It just took about 3 months or so. But there has been a bit of pullback, which we've seen in this since it did go up a bit, but that's not just because people don't like this stock or anything. We've seen a lot of pullback in the entire market in general, and for the most part, there have been some bad rep that has been given to SPACs as well. So we're just going to take a look over at their press release and their presentation, but we're going to do like a quick look at everything. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time reading every single detail because there is also a lot of fluff that is thrown in these things usually. It is all just to get investors interested, and this is something that if you are interested in, you can just do your own due diligence by looking at rocketlabsusa.com investor relations page. So this is they are only one of 2 U.S. commercial companies delivering regular access to orbit. They have 97 satellites deployed for governments and private companies across 16 missions. Their second most frequently launched U.S. orbit rocket, with proven Photon spacecraft platform already operating on orbit and missions booked to the Moon, Mars, and Venus. So they are the second one behind SpaceX as far as private companies go that do send missions to space. Transaction will be provide capital to fund development of reusable neutron launch vehicles with an 8-ton payload lift capacity tailored for mega constellations, deep space missions, and human space flight. Proceeds also expected to fund organic and inorganic growth in the space system market and support expansions into space applications, enabling Rocket Lab to deliver data and service from space. Business combination values Rocket Lab at an implied pro forma enterprise value of $4.1 billion. Pro forma cash balance of the combined company of approximately $750 million to close. Rocket Lab forecasts that will generate positive adjusted EBITDA in 2023, positive cash flow in 2024, and more than $1 billion in revenue in 2026. And a couple other details that were mentioned in the press release is that they have 3 launch pads built, 2 mission control centers, and 2 factories. Now, for Rocket Labs, they have 2 different sized rockets. They have a very small one called Electron, and they have one called the Neutron. This covers 98% of all payloads for satellites. Now, SpaceX's Falcon 9 can send much larger payloads. It's a much larger rocket, but the rockets that Rocket Lab are using are also reusable rockets as well. Now, since they are specializing in the smaller rockets, they can be more competitive with their pricing. Now, another investor into Rocket Labs that's not mentioned in the presentation is Lockheed Martin, and they've actually been invested into Rocket Labs since 2015. They got in during a funny. And the great thing about Rocket Labs is this is a company that over the last few years, they have had experience in launching these rockets into space. They've had successful missions. And like I said earlier, they are the second largest, or they have the second most rocket launches in the US. And as far as the most frequent launches globally, as you can see here, they have China, Russia, SpaceX, and Rocket Lab. So Rocket Labs actually launches more rockets than Europe and Japan. So that just kind of just says how much possibilities there are with this company, especially since that they are one that has is going to be coming out with a valuation of $4 billion. When you look at SpaceX, SpaceX is a company that has a valuation of upwards, I believe, of around $96 billion now, somewhere around there. So you're basically just getting into Rocket Lab. It's the very early stage of this company, but with successful rocket launches. And this is an industry that is just growing. There is just a huge demand with all the satellites that are going to space, and especially since Rocket Labs is working with NASA and they're doing their they're doing launches into to the moon, to Mars, and to Venus as well. Now, the transaction is expected to close in Q2 2021, upon which Rocket Lab will be publicly listed on the Nasdaq under the ticker RKLB. Current Rocket Lab shareholders will own 82% of the pro forma equity of combined company. So with all that being said, I'd like to hear what everybody's thoughts are of Rocket Labs, and is there anybody out there that is invested into VACQ? I'd like to know. Please let me know that. But I think that this company has a lot of potential. I'm going to be watching this one very closely. I like Momentous. I like all the other space stocks that I've been talking about as well. I think this is an industry that has a lot of potential. This is an industry that, like, in my opinion, this is like investing into EVs. Now everybody's kind of just looking at space now as the next big thing, and I think that there's going to be so much money pumped into space over time, especially since that technology is growing so rapidly. There needs to be more satellites, and the evolution of the internet and cell phones and all that stuff, how things just keep changing. I think that there's going to be more and more of demand in space, especially if there is going to be eventually at some point in time interplanetary transportation. Who knows what's going to happen all in the future with everything in the works. But anyways, I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts about Rocket Labs and VACQ. So as always, everybody, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. New videos coming out on my channel all the time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video coming very soon.